Why does Chrome sometimes download a PDF instead of opening it? When I go to certain addresses of PDF files, Chrome downloads the PDF instead of opening it using its built-in PDF viewer. The page is then blank white. There is no problem with my Chrome settings. I try addresses of other PDF files, and Chrome behaves as expected. I have it set to use Chrome's built-in PDF viewer. But every time I try the same problematic address, Chrome downloads the PDF and then displays a blank page. I am using Windows 10 and Chrome. Version 63.0.3239.84, official build 64-bit. My specific problematic URL this time is here, a Google search result.
Basically, this happens because the website tells the browser to do it. Occasionally, it's because the website developer decides they want this behavior, for example common on file sharing sites. Other times, it's because it's a default option for whatever software they're using, for example forum or blogging software. Sometimes it's because the site dev has no idea what they're doing. Content disposition. That's usually because the site sends a content disposition header in the response. Specifically, it can send either inline or attachment. Inline is the default if not otherwise specified, and means the browser will open the file within the browser window if it is able to. Attachment means to always download the file, never attempt to open it inside the browser. If you open your browser's developer tools, you'll see that particular link sends the following response headers. This tells the browser to always download, attachment, the file, and to give it the default file name of Schubert Sonata 21 bflat.pdf rather than inferring it from the URL. Additionally, it does tell the browser, correctly, that it's an application/PDF file, but since it's an attachment the browser will still default to downloading. Inline handling details. When a content disposition is inline, or unspecified, the browser will try to open the file in the default embedded viewer. This only works when the browser knows what file type it is, and the browser knows how to open that type. Type detection. The file type can be specified by the server with a content type header. For example, the most common inline types are text/HTML, application/JavaScript and text/CSS, making up the three major parts of a modern website. You can also have more esoteric types like application/PDF. Another possibility is the server has specified a content type of application/octet stream. This is the most generic type, and it tells the browser that the file is just arbitrary data, at which point the only thing the browser can do is download it. In theory, we'll get to that. When a content type is not specified by the server, and sometimes even when it is, the browser can perform what is known as sniffing to try to guess the type by reading the file and looking for patterns. Type handling. Upon receiving a file with an inline or unspecified disposition, the browser needs to try to open it within the browser if possible. To do this, it looks at the file type, and if it recognizes a type it will try to open it. Most browsers will open any text/type in a simple text viewer, will try to render text/HTML as a web page, might open application/JSON in a special syntax highlighted viewer, etc. The type application/octet stream was handled specially. Since it's supposed to be the most generic type, denoting an arbitrary stream of bytes, there isn't supposed to be any handler that can apply to all files of this type. For example, in Firefox, this manifests as an inability to set the default handler for application/octet stream. Some websites have also used non-standard types. I've seen application/force download used, which ends up as a download because the browser does not recognize or know what else to do with the type, but does not enjoy the special handling that application/octet stream does. A bit of a history lesson. To see how PDFs are handled, we can delve a bit into web history. See, in the past, browsers had no idea what a PDF is, so they could not open it. But we've seen PDFs being opened in browsers long before built-in PDF viewers were a thing. So how did that work? It used to be possible to extend browser functionality with far more control than what you can do with limited extensions/add-ons these days. Those were most generically known as plugins. In Internet Explorer, they were ActiveX controls. In Mozilla Firefox and later Google Chrome they were NPB plugins. These plugins were capable of doing everything any other program could, and could additionally register themselves as a handler for a specific file type that might be otherwise unrecognized by the browser. Incidentally, this was later found to be a huge security risk, and support for these powerful plugins was gradually dropped. In the days of plugins, you would go and install Adobe Acrobat Reader, which would then install an ActiveX or NPB plugin that would register the application/PDF MIME type and tell the browser to open those types inline using the plugin. Of course, after a number of security and performance issues caused by these plugins, the major browser vendors decided to incorporate their own PDF viewers while phasing out support for most plugins. The only one we still see is Adobe Shockwave Flash, which handles application/X Shockwave Flash. There's actually still some leftover controls for this. For example, in Firefox the preview and Firefox option still exists. In the past, this would have allowed the choice between multiple plugins that registered that type. For example, the list of registered types for Flash. Those days were also before a lot of the media support that came with HTML5. It wasn't just PDFs, your browser would have no idea how to handle an MP4 container or H.264 video, no idea how to play an MP3 file, etc., etc. You would see plugins provided by media players like VLC or even Windows Media Player, or websites would embed a media player built in Flash.
I found an explanation. According to an answer I found, it appears that Chrome will download a PDF if the MIME content type is set not to application/PDF but rather an incorrect or generic MIME type, application/octet stream. Furthermore, most web servers send unknown type resources using the default application/octet stream MIME type. For security reasons, most browsers do not allow setting a custom default action for such resources, forcing the user to store it to disk to use it.
This is due to the HTTP content disposition header specifying that the file is an attachment. This instructs the browser to download the file, rather than to open it directly. There is a Chrome add-on that can override this behavior. The following image is from the Firefox Developer Tools.